Hello, I'm BXToyCat and welcome back to the video. Today we're talking about creative mode in Minecraft, and this video is mostly aimed at people who are new to creative or who just mostly play survival when they play Minecraft, because the thing is, I've been doing a lot more stuff when it comes to creative, whether it's building four-legged spiders or giant polar bears, but the thing about creative mode in Minecraft is there is a lot of secrets that you can't really learn just, from watching the tutorial or doing something like that, but that you kind of just learn as you go along, and today I figured I'd tell you 5 of these secrets so you can be a little bit of a better creative player, and you can just know more stuff about creative that makes it very different to survival in ways that are, again, kind of kept secret from you. So yeah, creative versus survival, 5 differences. Hopefully you all do enjoy today's video, whether it is because you're new, or it's because you just want to, go through and be like, aha, I knew this stuff. Either way, hopefully you all do enjoy the video. If you do, like it, let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot, and let us know you do like, these sorts of videos, and indeed the secret stuff, especially when it comes to creative mode, because it's something I do kind of do less on my channel. And also, if you like the video, it makes the polar bear smile. I mean, right now he's got kind of a stern face on, but if you like it, I'm sure I can make him smile. With that said, let's get actually straight into the actual secret stuff itself, shall we? And let's start with the first of the interesting changes between survival and creative. And the first one here would be to do with the sword, I guess, because we've got it out anyway. And the thing about the sword in Minecraft is when you're playing survival, the sword is the most aggressive tool you have. It's mostly for attacking people. I've shown off the non-aggressive uses, but it's mostly for attacking people, doing a lot of damage, and that's kind of its main purpose. But the thing about, the sword in creative is it's kind of the, the exact opposite. If you have any tool out that's not the, the diamond sword, or that's not a form of sword, then what happens is when you punch stuff, if you accidentally punch a block, then that block will go away, and you have to go through the whole process of rebuilding, and it's really annoying. So if you want to hit a mob, for instance, you have to, if you use any single block, whether it's a pickaxe, or it's a golden carrot, or it's a bow, if you use any form of block that's not, any form of tool that's not a sword, you are going to break blocks if you accidentally hit those instead, whereas the diamond sword will not break blocks when you hit them. Again, this is something that came, a few updates ago, but that is so handy for when you're doing stuff like this, because if you want to point at stuff, whether it is for YouTube or just because you're showing something to someone, if you try and point at this, I'm going to break it, but if you point it with a sword, you can be like, look, over there, do this thing, and that's why that's so useful. So yeah, if you're playing in creative mode, make sure you keep a sword on you at all times, especially if you're switching between the two, because if you don't want to break your stuff and go through the process being like, let's find some black wool and let's replace that, then what you want to do is, that's not black wool, but it's close enough, and then what you want to do is you want to make sure you have a diamond sword of you, so that you can actually hit this stuff without breaking it. So yeah, first little thing is the sword. It goes from being the most aggressive tool in survival to being the least aggressive and the kind of anti-aggressive tool in creative, which is pretty handy if you ask me. So the second useful little tip for creative mode in Minecraft is the fact, or this little secret I should say, is the fact that there is a thing called sprint flying. So this is mostly new for PC players. If you're on console, you probably pick this up by yourself because you start, you go sprinting and then you pick up flying and then you sprint fly. So sprint flying is the fastest form of movement in Minecraft. There is no way to move faster than this except by adding a speed potion to it, which can give you 40% extra speed. But yeah, this is the fastest way to move in Minecraft, and the way you do it is you start sprinting and then you jump. On the console, you can do it by being in the air and then sprinting, but on the PC, I do believe you have to be sprinting and then jumping. Again, this super speed sprint jump only came to the PC very recently, and if you don't know about it already, it's something very, very handy, and it's something you want to try out in the Pocket Edition too. Just in general, if you're playing creative mode, you probably really want to do sprint flying because it's just so much faster, and especially when you have a massive world like this, you can't afford just to walk over it, or even just to sprint on the ground, which a lot of people do too. This is a really, really slow way to get around compared to this. So yeah, sprint flying, the fastest form of movement in the game. You might not have known about that already, and if that is the case, then that's pretty useful. So let's actually use sprint flying to take us over to the other side of the world, so I can show you a really cool little secret that, again, I think this is mostly unknown unless you have watched some of my recent videos, because the thing about breaking blocks in creative is even though it is instantaneous, when I press the right trigger or the left mouse click, the instant I do it, I tap on the screen, the instant I do it, the block is going to break, not with the screen, I guess. It's going to happen instantly. However, there is still something called the block delay between blocks, because it doesn't count as instant mining. Even though a block breaks instantly, if you want to break multiple blocks, as you can see, it goes at the speed of roughly a diamond shovel, a little bit faster, but in that kind of way. And it means that if you want to break a bunch of blocks like this, you're going to have a really, really slow time if you do it with a hand. So this is one of those really bizarre things where you want to switch to survival if you're breaking a bunch of blocks, because it is slower to break blocks in creative than it is with survival in certain cases. So with dirt, if you have an efficiency 5 shovel, or even efficiency 3, I believe it is, then what you can do is you can break dirt faster in survival, and since you can give yourself shovels really quickly in creative, you might as well do that. And with Netherrack, okay, so here's me doing it in creative. As you can see, not amazingly fast. It's it's going to take me some time to destroy this whole thing. Whereas if we switch to survival, which is / game mode 1 on the PC, or on the console, just use host privileges, then here's how fast we can do the whole thing. As you can see, significantly faster. And the reason for this is something called the block delay. Like I mentioned in the block delay video, if you actually, if you break a block in less than a 10th of a second, or a 20th of a second, sorry, you'll actually break the block instantly, and you can go through to the next one literally instantly. So I can break 20 blocks a second of Netherrack. However, in creative, you still have a quarter second delay between blocks, which means the most most you can break per second is 4, and even then it adds this, extra delay to it, and the reason for this is to stop you from just, destroying an entire thing really quickly. But if you want to break blocks faster, you have to switch to survival, which is really, really backwards. You might think that creative is the best one for breaking stuff, but not necessarily. So yeah, pro tip of that is the best way to break blocks is often in survival, which is, again, counterintuitive. So moving on to the little fourth tip we have here, it's something that is mostly a console exclusive, and I'll give you a Pocket Edition exclusive just in case you are a Pocket Edition player. But yeah, basically there is something called the D-pad control. So if the D-pad actually doesn't do anything in survival, it just kind of sits there. However, in creative, what you can actually use it for is you can use it to go very minutely up, down, left, and right like this. As you can see, it's a very, very handy little thing. And it actually is a lot more sensitive left and right than it is up and down. And the idea is, if you want to do very, very sensitive movements up and down, rather than going like this or having to go like this to fall down, instead you can just go up and down very, very slowly and calmly. And by itself, this is kind of useful to know, but where this gets really handy, by the way, you can use it while rotating to kind of do a really weird rotation. But yeah, the place where this becomes really handy, in my opinion, is the fact that you can use this while moving also to go fast. So for instance, let's say I wanted to make a giant netherrack thing over here. If I just place the block like this going normally, it's pretty fast. If I add myself a speed potion, which again, let's get a speed 2 potion. If you give myself a speed potion, then we can go a lot faster. As you can see, we're going to go like this. However, the very, very fastest way to go sideways and to place blocks like this is to go sideways with a speed potion and to use the D-pad. So I'm going to hold left on the D-pad while also going left, also with the speed potion, and as you can see, this is faster. I didn't believe it was faster. It seems like it's the same pace. So here's me doing it without it. As you can see, going pretty fast, and then here's me doing it with it, going all the way back. As you can see, it doesn't seem that much faster, but I timed it, and it's about a 20% increase. So 20% on top of the 40% from speed means that you can, you can build stuff essentially twice as fast if you know what you're doing. And since if you're in creative, you're probably building massive things, or at least if you're me in creative, because I've got stuff like this, and stuff like this, and yeah, there's lots of stuff that requires lots of just basic block placing. When it comes to that sort of stuff, you want to use the D-pad, you want to use speed potions, and you want to use them at the same time, because that's how you get the maximum speed. So yeah, that's a pretty handy thing right there. And also you can see when you use the speed potion and sprint flying, it's just so amazingly fast. You're just gliding through the air faster than anything else can take you, and it's a pretty cool little thing if you ask me. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to move on to the final little tip that I actually have for you all today, and it's to do with is actually to do with, the way you take damage. Because in creative, you're entirely immune from damage. In survival, you have a health bar. In creative, they take away your health, your hunger, all that stuff, because you don't need it. You can't take damage, you're immune from all damage, right? Even if you get attacked by the Wither, it's not going to do anything. You get attacked by the End Dragon, not going to do anything. This, that, etc. However, there is 2 ways to die in creative, and you might want to know what they are, because they're going to involve us going to the end, actually. So I'm going to take a second, and I'm going to switch to the end, because one will work in survival if you're on the PC or the Pocket Edition, because if you break below bedrock, which you can't do on the console, it's unbreakable, then you'll fall and you'll die to your death. Or fall to your death, I guess, not die to your death. And yeah, if you're on the console, then you have one way of dying, which I'll show you right now. So here we are in the end. It's called an almost dead dragon end because the end's dead. By the way, if you're wondering, my end on that world is pretty glitched for reasons. Let's not get into those reasons right now. Let's just say there's hundreds of Ender Dragons flying around. But with that said, let's move on to the final little secret here, which is the fact that you can actually die in creative if you fall below Y64 in the end, or I think it's Y0. Basically, let's get a map and let's show you what happens. So basically, here is the end, as you can see. As soon as we fall into the minus range, as we're going to do right here. Oh, it's minus 64, that's what it is. What's going to happen is you're actually going to start taking damage. So just about here, as you can see, I'm going to start taking damage, even though I am in creative and not in survival. So there is only one way to avoid this damage, and that one way is to turn yourself invisible, which we don't actually have the host option for, and if you do that, you can avoid it. But if you don't, if you're just, in creative by itself, if you need to die because, let's say you want to clear out your inventory, it's so much of a mess to just, press X and then do that and do that, which, by the way, if you don't already know, you can press X and you clear your quick select. But yeah, if you don't have the effort to do that, then one thing you can just do is you can drop off, you can die, and it's pretty handy. So yeah, that is 5 secrets when it comes to creative, and isn't this world lovely? 5 secrets about creative that you might not have previously known. Hopefully this does help you out. If you are trying to do new stuff, whether it is building a giant controller or whether it is building like a dog face or anything that you've been inspired to do, then hopefully this can help you out. Or if you're just playing it already and you wanted to know some stuff, hopefully you learned something from this video. If you did, let me know in the comments down below. I'm always curious to know what you have. And if you knew all 5, then leave a comment saying how you're super, super cool and smart and you knew them all already, because I know this is just something that happens in every video, but this way it's going to be at least, a few people that say that and saying like, oh, maybe you should do crazy advanced tips. But yeah, with that said, I hope you did all enjoy today's video. If you did like it, like the video and let me know. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I thought this video was pretty fun to make. If you all thought it was fun to watch, then you can subscribe and you'll see my videos pretty daily. Or you can not subscribe and you can probably watch them on your homepage or something. But yeah, with that said, thank you all very much for watching, and goodbye.